Hey guys, I'm gonna back here for the video, guys. Today we have our first look at the Week 3's main slate of games. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting off right away, Mahomes is the number one quarterback on the slate, and for obvious reasons. He put up 25 points last week, and now he gets the Chicago Bears, and the Chicago Bears have been absolutely dog water against everyone, so Mahomes should be able to go off in this upcoming game. We also have, of course, Josh Allen, who's number 2. He gets Washington this week after destroying the Raiders last week. Lamar Jackson is number 3 here versus the Colts. Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, Tua Tagovailoa, Kirk Cousins, T. Law, Anthony Richardson, Dak Prescott, and Jared Goff. Now, for my first stack of the week, the first one I'm going to be looking at today, I was kind of going back and forth on a couple of different guys because I kind of do want to eventually get to this Tua stack. This Lamar Jackson stack this week could actually be very valuable if Anthony Richardson plays. Richardson left last week with an injury. He had a concussion. So as long as he's cleared to play in this upcoming game versus the Ravens, I like him a lot. I mean, I like this stack a lot. But if he cannot play, I'm not doing the Lamar Jackson stack. So Lamar Jackson stack is pretty much as followed. You have Lamar Jackson, you have Zay Flowers, and then you go with Mark Andrews. Now, of course, you could stack him up with other players like Justice Hill here, who was actually very viable last week, 8.3 points. I say viable in the fact he cost, last week at least, he cost 4,900. He actually went down in price. Gus Bus last week, 12.2 points. He's 5,300. Again, yes, they didn't have crazy amazing games, but at the same time, they're not costing crazy prices, right? They're very affordable players for a lineup here, so that's why we do like them. All right, so, and they also have a higher upside, right? Both of them have higher upside. But I'm going to be double stacking here with Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. Now going back to the buyback option for this Colts game, I'm going to be buying back with Michael Pittman. As long as, again, Anthony Richardson plays, I'm okay with this stack. Richardson can move the ball. He's very mobile. He can also throw the football. This could be a game where the Baltimore gets out at a very, high score very quickly, right? And the Colts are going to have to come back in this game. As long as that type of scenario happens, and again, meaning Richardson does play, I'm okay. If Richardson is not active, I am completely canning this lineup, and I am not touching it with a 10-foot pole. I'm going Bills defense versus Washington here. I don't think Washington, they looked so bad last week, and then they look so good in the second half. Brian Robinson does look good, but I think this Bills squad, I think they're finally back to, being the old typical Bills where they're actually pretty dang good. So I think they're going to be absolutely fine in this upcoming matchup. My next option I'm going with here at running back number 1. I'm not going Eckler as he is still questionable in his upcoming game. He actually missed last game. Tony Pollard does interest me a lot versus Arizona here, but paying up that much means I'm going to have to go really cheap elsewhere, and I don't really love that. Bijan Robinson had a pretty dang good day versus Green Bay, and now he gets Detroit, which should be a really easy matchup for him. ETN gets Jacksonville. Oh, I mean, sorry, he gets Houston, not Jacksonville. Now, James Cook last week had 22.9 points, and it finally looked like the Bills actually were going to run the football in that game. It looks like the Bills were actually going to, start giving it to the running back and utilizing him. I'm not sure how they're going to utilize him this week because Washington does have a really good defensive line, and I think this is going to go back to the old days of just, throwing the football and running Josh Allen. And to be honest, going down this list here, there's a couple guys I do like. And number 1 is going to be Raheem Mostert. They go against Denver. And don't get me wrong, listen, Denver could be a really great team in the end here. I can't even say that with a straight face. I feel so bad for the Broncos because they started off this season. The Raiders game, they lost by 1 point. And then they lost last week on a Hail Mary, but a PI that was not called a 2-point conversion. I feel so bad for them for that said reason because they should not be in the situations they're in, but they are. And they are going to be in this situation this week too. This week they play against Miami, so it's even worse. But the good thing is, the Broncos can definitely score points in this game. Miami's defense is not that good. We saw the Patriots actually move the ball pretty efficiently against them. But we also know the Dolphins can score a lot of points against this Broncos defense. So, with that being said, I'm kind of interested in one of these Broncos receivers. Problem is, it's going to be a rainstorm in that game. So, it is in Miami. So, the rainstorm is going to be even worse than normal. That's why I don't know if I really love the receivers here for the Broncos, because I don't know how this game's going to go for the other side, right? This game could go very well for them, and the rainstorm could help them out. I don't think it's going to, though. I think it's going to be one of the situations where it actually, goes against them in this situation. So, I think I'm going to Drake London here versus Detroit. I like that matchup right there. I'm kind of thinking about how I want to do this here, because I kind of went a little bit expensive here with Lamar Jackson, and it's kind of biting me in the butt for the rest of these plays. I might here. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, guys. I'm gonna get off the Mark Andrews stack. I'm just going to do the skinny stack with Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson. Problem with that Lamar Jackson stack is I'm not 100,000% on it. And with how expensive it is, I don't know if I love it. I really don't know if I love that Lamar Jackson stack, just with how expensive it is. And the question is it going to actually hit to a point that I'm going to be able to, really make, my points back for the price tag? And I'm not 1000% convinced it's going to happen. So I might not end up going with Lamar Jackson stack that much this year. I am going to do it for the video just to take a look at it, but I will definitely say it's a stack. I don't know 100% if I'm going to be behind, by the time the season, by the time this Sunday does kick around. I am doing 150 lineups though, so it would definitely get some, usability in my squad. But this Jets running back core, by the way, Breece Hall got 4 carries last week. Dalvin Cook didn't do anything. I would not touch anything on this Jet squad with a 10-foot pole. I would just leave it where it is and not really get involved. If you are thinking about starting any New York Jets, on running back wise, obviously this week, who they play? This week, wait, what did I miss him? Okay. The Jets this week, they play against the Patriots. Yeah, I don't like that matchup. Patriots have a really solid defense, so I'm not really too interested in going with that options. Alright, so flex play here. I'm not against going Lockett. I'm not trying to chase the points here, but Carolina does not scare me. I'm going to go Lockett here, and then I'm going to finish it off with a running back here. And for running back, I think Carolina's defensive line with Brian Burns, they actually have a pretty good defensive line. I don't really love Kenneth Walker versus him. I know Kenneth Walker had a good game last week, and now everyone's going to be on that bandwagon of like, oh, Kenneth Walker is the guy. He's the guy. But I don't think he's going to be the guy. I'm actually going Alexander Madison here. And the reason why is because that Chargers squad, I don't know how they keep doing it, but they keep choking on defense. And as long as they choke on defense, I want as much of that, other side of that ball as possible, pretty much, right? Because no matter how this game's going to go, the Vikings need to win more than anything. The Chargers need to win more than anything. So they're going to really lean on the run game here, and they're going to run a lot here, trying to win this game versus the Chargers. So guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Again, like I said, I'm not really too much on this Lamar Jackson stack. I'm kind of on the fence about it. We're going to be looking at a lot of different stacks this week. That's all I've got. That's what I have to say about it, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. See you guys in the next one.